Hello everyone, welcome to the Daddy Goes Live studio. I am Niharika, your live video strategist, and we are your live video partners. A big thank you to all our viewers for joining us on the second installment of this live marketing show. Thank you for that quick intro. So let me catch our viewers up to pace on what we are trying to achieve by means of these series. What we are trying to do is we are attempting to answer the most fundamental question that all of us as brands are going to have to answer sooner than later. And that is, how do we begin to revive, and not just revive, but actually start to boost our brands, to market our products and services, and to promote our products to our audiences amidst these corona times like never before. So without wasting too much time, let's get into it. Let me just quickly tell you who this video is for. So if you own any kind of a hospitality business, for example a cafe, a restaurant, or alternately any kind of a stay-in business, which is hotels or service apartments, anything that falls under the hospitality spectrum. Alternately, if you are a marketing professional who markets any of these kind of hospitality services, this video is just the thing for you, because we are going to discuss some very interesting and innovative marketing strategies that are going to bail you out of this corona situation. So please like this video and subscribe to our channel, and reach out to us because we will be able to come up with a completely customized live marketing strategy which is perfect for your brand. Now let's get into the crux of this video. How we are going to answer this important question is by using a completely new tool, and that tool is professional, high quality live streaming services. So what we are going to do is, before we sort of get into this video, I'm going to display what our multi-camera, multi-input setup looks like, and what that enables us to do, so that you can generate your content, which not only helps you put on a much wider, cast a much wider net on your audiences, but also have some sort of a meaningful dialogue with them. So let's go to that next segment, please. Perfect. So I'm just going to take you through what our setup looks like. So today what we have here is we've connected two different cameras. One which gives you a more wider view of the subject, which is me today, and one which gives you a more focused, narrow view of the subject, which will be used when I am narrating something or I am talking you through the subsequent parts of the video. Additionally, we have also plugged in a background, which could be a static or a dynamic. It could be a video or a picture. In short, we've used a picture for the purpose of this video. And we also have our company logo placed at the top left of your screen. We have a ticker with some information on how you can reach out to us. And the idea is to basically plug in multiple inputs from our system, which could be other media files like a PPT, a video, an image, our studio, which are multiple cameras, which gives you a more interesting and a different perspective on the subject. And alternately from remote sources, which means that we are able to connect with other people over a video call and plug in that footage for you to view. In short, we are creating a completely immersive live television channel-like quality for you to reach out to your viewers and provide them some interesting content completely in real time. So having said that, if you have any kind of questions, again, please keep on commenting, because that is the whole point of doing a live session, is to answer all your questions in real time and have a conversation with you. And I think now that we have demonstrated that, what we are going to do is, for the purpose of this video, we are going to use the more focused, narrower view, and we are going to get into what this presentation looks like. So what we are doing is that I have listed out different kinds of applications, about 7 to 8 different applications that you can use if you're in the hospitality sector. And these applications basically list out what is the use of a professional high quality live streaming service which can enable you to reach to your target audiences, connect with them better, and in turn boost your brands. So let's get straight into it. Let's start with the first one. Awesome. So the first application is called the Live Kitchen. Now, what I mean by that is, I think there are two important problems that have come up as a result of these corona times. Now, the first one is that there is a lack of confidence that a lot of people have in eateries or restaurants or cafes, and that has to do with what is the safety measure that your brand is taking with regards to the entire COVID-19 situation. So, because of the new social distancing norms, in general, the entire number or volume of the walk-ins and takeaways are going to go down, which means that you are basically faced with a two-pronged situation, or rather a two-pronged approach to answer that situation. And that is, number one, the first set of your activities need to focus on building that trust back and gaining that confidence of your consumers, so that they're convinced that you are taking enough precaution that you need to deliver quality services. The second part is that because in a way it is inevitable that the numbers of people who are going to be going out and eating are going to go down, which means that if you have any kind of fixed resources, which means be it your space, I mean the kind of restaurant or cafe that you own, or the resources that you employ over there, the point is that you are going to need to figure out alternate ways in which you can utilize these existing resources and create new kinds of revenue platforms, so that your income, your revenue is not completely based just on your walk-ins anymore, but you're finding different ways to do different things with the same set of resources. So when we talk about a live kitchen, the interesting part of this is that you are going to use a live streaming service for the purpose of letting your guests monitor how their meals are prepared and created in the kitchen, basically, with all the due measures that are necessary, considering the health and safety aspect and how they reach the customer. So essentially you are giving them an inside view of your kitchen. You are helping them conduct a little monitoring and surveillance activity. And by doing that, you are fostering a lot of trust, you are fostering a lot of confidence, because you are coming across as a transparent brand, as an honest brand who really cares about their customers and the kind of products that actually reach their doorstep. So while they help you build that kind of trust, it definitely helps you create a buzz as say the first restaurant in your city which is actually providing this kind of a live kitchen service. And of course, eventually, because of the fact that you are so cared and concerned about the kind of food that you are offering to your customers, it will sort of increase the sales in terms of the walk-ins as well as the deliveries of your brand. So that is our first application. Can we please move on to the second one? Perfect. So the second one is interactive sneak peeks and behind the scenes. Now, all of us really love watching the bloopers or the behind the scenes from all our favorite series, because it's really fun to understand what goes on behind how our favorite things come to life. So this is actually taking the live kitchen concept one step further into actually turning it into some kind of an entertaining content for your audiences. And that is, if you're actually giving them a view into how their favorite dishes come to life, or you're giving them a chance to interact with your chef or the team that works on getting your food ready and delivered to them, you're basically encouraging a meaningful interactive dialogue between your staff and your target customers. And once again, what this does for you is that besides encouraging that conversation between your brand and the target customers, it also again helps you reinstill that sense of a forthcoming brand, a brand which is eager to have a conversation with its customers, a brand which really cares about building that kind of a trust and a confidence going with their audiences. So this could be an interesting aspect for you to explore. In fact, this is actually relevant to a lot of businesses. So even if you come from a product or a service background, interactive behind the scenes sneak peek or some kind of a virtual tour that gives people a look into your facility is always a great idea to engage with your audiences. Can we move to the next segment, please? Perfect. So the third segment is live blogger tables and testimonials. Now let me just quickly explain the concept of a live blogger table. What happens is that a cafe or a restaurant calls over a set of say 5 to 7 or 7 to 10 odd bloggers who are food bloggers, and once there they're basically served some kind of a curated menu, and upon sampling that they're expected to document some sort of a review or a testimonial. And because these people are micro influencers, they're able to basically generate a positive word of mouth for the cafe or the restaurant and in turn drive the sales. Now, because of the social distancing norms that are going to come into place, a lot of these cafes are not going to be able to hold events of the scale that they used to. The good way to tackle it is by still having a virtual event of a live blogger table, wherein maybe you can possibly deliver the entire curated menu to each of your different bloggers and have them all connect with you over a video call. The specifics of which we can sort of explain to you when you really reach out to us or if you have a similar application. And the whole event can basically be conducted in a virtual format wherein you're still able to connect with all those bloggers and get a review in real time. The good part is that all your viewers who are actually watching this are going to be able to interact with each of those bloggers in real time. So they can ask them any kind of questions, and it can be a really fun and interactive session to be able to converse with each of these micro influencers, because you're giving your viewers and your customers a chance to interact with each of these influencers, and that could be a driving factor. Additionally, if you are able to incentivize the kind of viewership that you get on any of these live shows, that is the best way to effectively translate this into sales for your brand. Because now what you're doing is, if you're directly linking the viewership to some form of discounts or offers on your services, then that creates a bigger pull for any kind of marketing activity that you want to do. So that could be an interesting application for your hospitality brand. Let's move on to the next segment. This one pertains more to if you are a hotel brand or if you have some kind of a staycation kind of a brand, or an OYO for an example, or Airbnb or anything of that sort. Now, live celebrity stays and interactions is probably the future of how celebrities are going to be able to sort of endorse a product or a service. Now, what you can do is that there are basically 3 ways to engage with your audience when you're trying to drive your viewership for a particular live stream. Number 1 is by incentivizing it with some form of a monetary discount on your products and services. So you say that if you watch us in real time, then you get say a 20% off on our products or our services. Number 2 is if you offer your viewers a chance to feature in the stream themselves, so that now they become the voice of your brand and they're able to create a positive word of mouth for your brand, which seems like a much more genuine and a real approach versus a more polished, scripted marketing initiative that you would be wanting to undertake. And the third important thing is that if you give your viewers a chance to engage with someone who is important, someone who is famous, a celebrity, then that creates the third kind of driving pull for people to watch your content. And this one pertains to the third one. So, for example, you have Manushi Chillar coming and staying at your hotel. It would be interesting to give your viewers a behind the scenes look into her stay at your hotel, the kind of experience that she's had with your staff, how she likes your rooms, what does she have to say about the housekeeping, the food, anything at all. What that does is it creates a positive word of mouth. It gives a chance to your viewers to it gives a chance to your brand to actually create that hook which will get that conversation going, because ultimately it's all about how you find what is that one thing which is going to be a conversation starter between your brand and your audiences. So that could be a nice buzz creating tool for you. Can we move to the next one, please? Now a lot of times what happens is that when we are looking for some kind of an event, when we are looking for some kind of a venue where we want to have a particular event, whether it's a social event or it's a corporate event, what generally happens is we at least go to at least say 2 or 3 different places, and we have a set of 2 or 3 different parameters like the number of people that we have, the kind of budget that we have for the event, and depending on that we go and we actually take physical tours of the places that we've shortlisted until we finally figure out that what is the right place to do the event. A live property showcase gives you the excellent opportunity of presenting your entire space in a way that it might help a prospective client or a prospective customer to evaluate whether it is the right space, and also evaluate that what are the different kinds of things that he can do at that place. So it could refer to a hotel brand who is actually showcasing what kind of rooms it has, their pools, their banquet services, most importantly, the spaces that they have for their conference rooms, their seminars, etc. What it helps to do is that it gives you a virtual tour of your space, and it basically helps your client or your customer to first of all be informed of the fact that okay, there is this certain space which offers these kind of services. So if in the future, or if right now I'm looking for a space of this sort, then I know at least that there is this particular brand which has this kind of facility. And number 2 is as part of that, you can also sort of tie in some sort of a testimonial of any of these people who have actually used your services, because like we mentioned in the previous section, it's much more credible when that word of mouth comes from someone who's really used your services versus you talking about your brand yourself. So yeah, so can we move to the next one, please? Live events and live shows. Now again, with the social distancing norms coming into place, there is going to be a big restriction on the number of people that can gather in any space, which has basically affected the entire events market. Now there are 2 ways to do this. Number 1 is to still continue to have your events by calling say 10 or 20 people, which means a majority of your near and dear ones or anybody who you want to attend that event is going to miss out. Number 2, which is the better option for you, is to basically conduct these events and live stream them. So even if they are happening in a controlled environment with say 2 or 3 performers or 5 or 10 performers, that whole thing can still be streamed out to a much larger audience so that nobody misses any kind of social event or corporate event or gathering that you have. Additionally, what this helps you do is it helps you create a separate revenue stream. Previously, I mean, when there were no norms really, you could do an event and this could function as an extended ticketing service for you. So for example, if you have an auditorium and if you're undertaking a show there and the capacity of that is probably 500 people, what you can do is once your capacity is sold out, by means of a live streaming service, you can actually have an additional ticketing system where you can sell say another 100-150 odd passes, which are means for you to get more revenue out of the same event and also have a larger and a wider reach for your events. So this is an interesting model for even for people who have some sort of a cafe and a restaurant, but you know that your customers are not going to come in like they did at all times. So you can open up to the possibility of actually having some sort of small events starting to be conducted, and then start to live stream those events to create that buzz around it, to create a different revenue stream for yourself. Yeah, so let's move on to the next one. Corporate events, very similar to the previous application, just that instead of a social event or a show, we are talking about conferences, we are talking about seminars, we are talking about panel discussions, surveys. So what this focuses around again is the idea is to have a small gathering of people, 5, 10, 20, who are actually conducting that seminar. And instead of having thousands of people who come and attend it, what we are right now planning to do is that we are shifting the whole attending format to a format where you can stream it, so that anybody who is situated in any corner of the world can just plug in and watch your content in real time. That would be an amazing thing, because you're reaching out to so many people now. Which brings us to almost the end of our video today, and the last one. Great. So staff training, a little quick application but extremely important and crucial, because along with the entire marketing dynamics that has changed, it is extremely important for you to bring your entire staff and resources on board with the current situation, with everything that they can do in terms of quality management, or be it improving the quality of your customer service, anything of that sort. So again, what this happens to do is that it allows you to bypass the whole necessity to have a actual event where you call people from different places and then you conduct some kind of a training activity, to a format where you can actually live stream any kind of training activity that you're undertaking and let the larger audience watch it and be able to train any size of your staff in real time, offering them a completely immersive and interactive experience, which is also a good looking experience, because like we just showed you, with the help of a professional multi-input, multi-camera service, what you can do is you can do so much more with the same feed in real time. So hey, you're using green screens, you're changing backgrounds, you're using multiple cameras, you're editing in real time, you're pulling in different you can actually even pull in content from your social media handles in real time, and so much more that you can do for a completely immersive channel, television show like quality for your live content. So that brings us almost to the end of the show. Yes, I think we pretty much finished all our applications that I wanted to talk to you about today. So once again, thank you so much for joining us here. Do we have any questions? Yes, we do have a question, as a matter of fact, from Divyanshi. Divyanshi, thank you for asking us this question. This is an extremely important question. She wants to know that how I mentioned in the previous application, how can we monetize any kind of event that we may have? Very interesting. So there are two things that you need. Number one, you need a proper content strategy in place, which means that you are actually creating content that people want to not only watch but actually pay for. So that is number one. If you think that you have any kind of an educational or an entertainment related content which your brand is creating in high quality in real time, then what you can basically do is, the second part is that not then using live platforms like say Facebook or YouTube, but actually using private servers. So instead of putting up this live content for a public viewership, we are now taking it to a closed platform where you can basically charge people on a pay-as-you-go model, and then give them a specific link after that payment happens to watch that live stream, which happens on a private platform. So that's how you can basically monetize your events, and this is an excellent idea. In fact, going forward, I think all of us as brands should start to have a strategy in which you can eventually actually create content that people might want to pay for, because then you're spinning the entire game round, and instead of you spending money on your marketing activities, you're actually making money out of your marketing activities. So that might be an interesting food for thought for all of us here. Anyway, so please subscribe to our channel if you have liked this video. Please reach out to us for your customized live video strategy, and I'm sure we'll be able to help you do and explore a lot of interesting aspects of the application of this for your particular industry or your brand. Thank you so much for joining us here at the show today. I'm going to sign off. I am Niharika, your live video strategist, and we are your live video partners.
Hi everyone, welcome to the Daddy Goes Live studio. I am Niharika, your live video strategist, and we are your live video partners. So let me start by saying that I am very excited today because we are introducing a couple of our very novel live production features here. The first one is multi-input streaming and the second one is live editing. So let's talk about these. Now, all of us at some point in time have come across some live videos being aired on Facebook or YouTube that could be educational or promotional in nature. Typically, the view that you see is captured on a single camera, and at max it could be an alternating view between a wider and a narrower lens that captures the subject. This can be quite limiting because you are not exploring the full potential of your live streaming capabilities. I mean, there is just so much more that you can do to make your live streams richer, more engaging, but most importantly, more interactive. So let's watch all of this in action here today. So what you're watching on your screens right now is me. Now let's add one more camera to this production and watch it. Excellent. Hi Vasundhara. Vasundhara is joining me here at the Daddy Goes Live studio today to help me explain these features to you better, and I would love her to introduce herself to all of us.
Hi Niharika, hello everyone. Thank you for having me at Daddy Goes Live studio today. I am Vasundhara Rastogi, founder and designer at Vass & Raw being the underlying character of the label. So next up, Niharika, don't you think it would be demonstrative for your viewers if we put up a presentation that we had worked upon earlier to help them understand how to boost their brand better with your services?
Yes, we can do that. Excellent. Now we've connected a presentation to this stream that we are watching. Next up, I'm going to make a video call and then plug in that feed to this production for all of us to see, and a really special guest is joining us there too.
Salut, hi, this is Ranjita, and thank you for having me first of all on Daddy Goes Live studio. I'm at this really cool place, World Market at Aerocity, and I love the vibe. I mean, you can hear some music in the background. There are lots of cafes and restaurants, and on my lazy days, I come here and chill. So have a look around.
So we now have two cameras, a presentation and a video call all connected to this production, and we have the option of watching these inputs one after the other, a few of them at a time, or all of them at the same time. Now we have basically plugged in inputs from my system, my studio and remote locations, and all of this in real time. Isn't that amazing? Okay, now all of us know that editing happens on recorded videos, but what if you could do that live? I mean, what if you could upgrade your entire stream quality from an amateur looking stream captured on some mobile app to a professional TV studio quality? Let's watch how that works. Now I'm going to spice things up a little by replacing my own boring green screen background with another backdrop. Excellent! We can also choose to do this with an image, a video or any other graphic again, but for the purpose of this demonstration we are using this. Additionally, to make your live streams more appealing and informative, you can add titles, your company logo or any other information like tickers. So let me wrap this up here by saying that there is so much that you can do with all of this. You can live stream events, weddings, trainings, case studies, testimonials, product launches, and so on. And you can ask questions, take suggestions, but most importantly, you can interact with your audiences, and you are doing all of this in real time. So in short, this is groundbreaking. This is game changing because this can boost your individual or corporate brands like never before. Thank you for joining us here at the studio today. Please stay tuned in with us to find how we can be relevant for your businesses. We are Daddy Goes Live, your live video partners.